I first of all have to look at the comments of me being tardy. Yeah, I've been trying, guys. I had to eat something. I was at a family function, so forgive me of my tardiness once again. Mama Lou, hey Kurt, how are you today? I'm fair, man. I'm fair. You know, I have my challenges of the day, but everything's good. David, Mick, hey Kurt, hi everyone from Liverpool, England. Counterpunch to you. I heard that. Mama Lou. So what's the topic tonight? The topic is about boxing, nothing more, nothing less. You know, if it ever starts 7 minutes late. Kurt, he must be sleeping. Nah, I wasn't sleeping. I did kind of lay down for a bit, honestly, because I went to town with some relatives and did some hardware stuff. Well, no big deal. Everyone's trying to kind of do a lot of reconstruction and stuff of that nature. Oh, great. Got that. He said, or he's forgot. Man, I ate whole catfish. Just whole catfish. I've been on a carnivore diet for the last 4 or 5 days. So I've just been eating meat. I mean, I got some fruit here just to snack on because I do have the munchies, but other than that, you know. There we go. Testing, testing. Can anyone and everyone hear me okay? We're going to start this live stream and talk about some boxing and take a little trip. I gotta run some errands for my uncle, and you guys, not the uncle, but a uncle, actually his brother. So I'm running errands for him. This thing here is tripping. I hear you, Kurt. Well, if I could ever get these, I left my wireless ones back there, so dude, the weather's been crazy. Pollen's been stupid, and okay. Okay, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? You know, I do want to talk about a fighter that I think he's being overlooked. People like him, but I think people are still overlooking him. They're underestimating him. And his name is Jai Apataya. Jai Apataya, I believe, is getting overlooked, just like Alexander Usyk was. And I know that's the footsteps trying to come. down. He's trying to follow. And my question is, would it be harder for him than Usyk? Because, there's a lot of guys in heavyweight, man. You got, again, Caballero. You have Moses Atoma. Those guys are going to be there a while. You still have guys like Daniel Dubois, which in 5 years, Daniel Dubois will be where Joseph Parker is now. And he may still be fighting. It depends on how his career goes. I got mixed feelings about that, though. Because if Daniel fights and he loses again, and he loses the undisputed to Usyk, that means Usyk has taken out 3 British fighters and have stopped them completely from ever getting where they wanted to go. AJ, Tyson Fury, and Daniel Dubois, all alike. He's done that whole thing to him, because all of those guys, if it wasn't for Usyk, would be undisputed or whatever right now, right? Yeah, Jai versus Moses could be good. Yeah, it could be. Because Jai's not one of those guys that's going to sit there and get belted. Moses is going to have to set some stuff up to catch Jai. Then Jai is a guy that is very aggressive himself, but as we learned in the greatest fight, he knows how to also box. He knows how to box. He can box as well as fight. See, sometimes, fighting is not going to get you everywhere. You can't fight yourself out of every situation. Those guys that quote unquote call themselves fighters, those are the ones that get hurt bad, because they're not logically trying to put punches together and pace themselves like boxers know how to do. A jab here, a right hand there, a hook there, and they're constantly moving and using their footwork. Joseph Parker is being overlooked, especially for the Usyk fight. Dubois pulled out injured. Yeah, I think morally everyone knows that. Even Frank. They all know that. They all know Parker, was the victim. I mean, the person you look at and really feels more sorry for is Parker, not Dubois. We know that already. That's why Frank says, hey, well, Parker's in a good position because he fights whoever wins. He knows that. He definitely knows. But check it. They're not trying to get Daniel out of this position because that's where any promoter would want any fighter. So you just have to look at the side of the fighter and the position of the fighter and the position or the advantages that the fighter has. And in this case, Dubois is in a good position. You know what I mean? He's just like, hey, everyone knows that maybe more than likely he might have lost against Joseph Parker. And the thing is, we still want to see that fight because we don't want to sit and ask if he coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know what I mean? That's bullshit. We want to know if it really happened. But a lot of things happen like that in boxing, man. A lot of fights never really happen in boxing that people just don't really think about no more because it never happened. Because people never looked back and thought to themselves, like, what would have happened if Costa Tszyu actually fought Oscar De La Hoya? Or Terry Norris actually would have fought Oscar De La Hoya? Those fights could have been done. They could have been made. But certain fighters, Vince Phillips, he knocked out Costa Tszyu. He gave Costa Tszyu his first loss. Keith Mullings knocked out Terry Norris. And Terry Norris was going to fight Oscar De La Hoya at, I think a catch weight? Because remember, Abel Sanchez was training Terry Norris. So, in fact, Abel Sanchez, the guy that says black fighters are boring, is the same guy that got his black fighter knocked the fuck out by Keith Mullins, another black guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those things happen, and it happened to fighters that were on their way. You know, it's just Daniel came out lucky, and I don't really use that word a lot. Lucky. You don't really have, man. He got lucky. Well, in this case, he did. He was very fortunate. Very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. Maybe it's another part that Turkey has to empty the piggy bank to make. Well, I don't think so, because he didn't have to do it before. He shouldn't have to do it now. Apparently, Dubois is supposed to fight Dubois. Wait, what? Dude, everybody write in caps, because I can't read that little shit. I can't read it. It's too small. I'd rather see Del Boy fight AJ given that. No, I don't want to see Del Boy fight AJ. That's dumb. You know? No. Don't get me wrong. Del Boy is always doing shit like this. He's that guy that you can never overlook. He's that guy that has a puncher's chance, and he's that guy that makes his puncher's chance count. I get that, but him fighting AJ, no, I don't see that shit. You know. But based on what we saw, don't be surprised if if Del Boy does something crazy like knock out AJ. But and it would be like, man, you know, people that support Fury, they'll just say, you know, AJ's not better, you know. I might. You know what, Mama Lou? Actually, a few years ago, I got my eyes dilated, and I have like, what is it? I have something damaged cornea, I think it is. I think it's called. But let me tell you, when they dilated my eyes, bro, I was blind. I couldn't see shit. And what's so crazy? I drove home. Like, not, you know, I could see objects, but I couldn't see anything clear. It was the scariest shit ever. I was like, dude, I just want to go home and go to bed and lay down. That's exactly what I did. And honestly, somebody should have drove for me. So I don't know why the hell no one did. I don't know. Maybe I was too proud to ask someone. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, stigmatism. Yeah, I know I have that, you know. Can someone please take Chisora's license away before he gets hurt? I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't honestly think that he's just too much of a Butterbean like character now, but taken more seriously. Butterbean was the king of the 4-rounders for a reason. People didn't really take that shit seriously. He was like a pre-game appetizer for a much bigger fight on a venue. Whereas Chisora's doing headliners still. Chisora's doing headliners. He's still making those fights count. You know, not only did he take out Joseph Joyce, who did he recently fight? Yeah, he should have quit after Tyson Fury, but that just shows you that He wasn't done after Tyson Fury, obviously. Now I know what you're doing. I know, Bill. You're looking for his. You're looking after his well-being and all that, but you can't tell a grown man what to do. Sometimes you do have to stop people from themselves. That is correct, but that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. You're not gonna tell Derek Chisora what to do. If he can pass a physical, he's gonna keep fighting. But I mean, this is supposed to be his last fight here. Yeah, Otto Wiley. That's right, Otto Wiley. I don't know how the hell I forgot that fight. But because I was on that oil that night, so yeah, that's probably what that was about. But yeah, I mean, he beat the guy that gave Tyson Fury the second hardest fight of his career, you know, or should I say the third now, because the two Usyk fights definitely superseded that, trumped that. So, you know, Wiley. Yeah, Otto Wiley. But no, Derek is not going anywhere, man. But I think if he says he's going to fight one more fight, and after that, and if he still keeps talking about fighting, I think somebody should do something. Like, hey, man, no. Give his ass some money. He's always talking about money. It wasn't my money, man. It wasn't my money. I don't know how many of you guys have been around for like when COVID. I don't know if you were following my channel then, but when COVID came, I grew this big beard, which I refused to, like, I didn't want to, you know, I said, well, look, I'm gonna shave it when COVID's over. And I had this big long beard, and everybody was like, dude, you look like Derek Chisora. Oh, the old boy should retire for his own safety. He should. But no, all that whole time he's like, man, I want more money. You know, I mean, he was saying that back when, like, you had fights like Taylor versus Prograis. You guys can remember Taylor versus Prograis. It was a really good fight, you know. And now, you know, if you look at that Taylor Prograis fight, Taylor was a lot better than he was now. I mean, Taylor's not the same at all. Neither is Prograis, though. None of those guys are just, they're done. They're past their prime. Give them a couple good checks. Let those couple good checks, you know, let them put them into investment so they can make some money and invest for the future. Because their fighting days are finished. And I respected both of those fighters. I was told Dubois picks Parker, so why are we saying Dubois ducked Parker when he made the decision? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you got to ask them. So you can say that, like, oh, he picked Parker, so why would he want to, you know? Well, here's the thing. This is another question you ask yourself then. If you think that, what you think what Jarrell Miller said was true, they didn't want to fight Parker at one point. Now, it would be impressive that he decided to pick Parker after not wanting to fight Parker before. Sad thing with boxers, they never know when to quit. No, they don't. They're just tools, you know? You think Anthony Joshua ain't a tool for Eddie Hearn? You know, but that tool is getting dull, and he's wanting to use that tool less. But no, before that, honestly, if you think about it, like, that's the whole thing. You know, that's the whole thing, man. It's like, these promoters, they know what it is. It's like Daniel Dubois, you know, he's a young guy, but Frank Warren, you know, he made sure he got him in a good position. I'm proud of Frank, man. Frank Warren did that. The money is too attractive. Absolutely. They're gonna and they're not gonna turn that down. If the Eddie knows that, man, 15% of $20 million is a lot of money. You know, Dubois is going to fight anyone that's going to be white for revenge. And you know something? I mean, I would watch it, but that would be a trilogy fight. But honestly, I honestly don't think that, you know, I don't think that Dubois needs Dillian right now. If anything, Dillian needs him, just like Dubois doesn't need Joe Joyce. You see what I mean? He doesn't need that fight. Those guys are too far down the totem pole now, you know? And it sucks for Dillian. Dillian didn't even really get beat. Dillian had a bad performance against Jermaine Franklin. And then after that, he was going to fight. Then AJ fought Franklin. And then AJ was then going to fight Dillian. And then Dillian, you know, had some funny ass results on his test. That's what happened. Trilogy fights are like triangle theories. We don't want them. You know, trilogy fights though, the only warranted trilogy fight now would be Beterbiev. But I seen something in Beterbiev that did concern me. He ran out of gas. He got tired of chasing Bivol around. Did Bivol do more this time? Yeah, he did, but he knew he had to. But because he knew he had to and he did what he had to do, Artur, it's like he couldn't do what he had to do. He ran out of gas. Beterbiev ran out of gas. This cat was like, you know what? I'm tired of it. And look, and it looked like that fight was going all towards like 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round. It looked like Beterbiev was just going to just run over this dude and beat the shit out of him. And what happened, Bivol started throwing more punches and moving more. Throwing more and moving more. And then like, it almost like Beterbiev like couldn't, you know, he couldn't keep up. And I never saw him like that. So maybe Father Time is knocking a little harder at the door these days at Artur, you know? So, I mean, he is 40 years old. You know, there's a difference, bro, when you're 35 to 40. Things are a lot different, you know? Not as much, like for me, you know, 35, I could do a lot more at 35 than I could do at 40. As far as energy, as far as, hey, let's go run stadiums today. Let's go, you know, let's run a whole stadium today. Let's do it. Up and down, you know, and then hit the cardio on the track. A field day. You know? And these days right now are perfect for them. And I'm going to get back doing those actually. So my lives will be at Lee Hedges Stadium. Beterbiev is done. 40 changes you. It can, man. It can, definitely. Hey, Kurt, who would you say is a better comeback between Parker and Dubois? I don't know. They're probably 50-50 right now. Because, you know, Dubois beat 2 undefeated guys, and then AJ. Parker beat Macaulay, Parker beat Wilder, and then Parker beat Zhang, which none of those guys were undefeated. So if you were going to look at the O Snatcher, it would go to Daniel Dubois because those guys haven't been defeated. But, you know, those guys, you got to ask yourself, who would win out of those guys? Who would win out of Jarrell Miller and Zhang? Who would win out of Hrgovic and Deontay Wilder? Who would win out of McCauley and who's the other guy? AJ. You see what I mean? So I don't know, man. I mean, it's about neck and neck to me. That's a good question, bro. That's one of the best questions I've heard in a long time. You know, because like the comeback for Dubois, you know what? I will say it's Dubois. And I'm going to tell you why. Dubois has had to prove to himself that he had BALLS. Or should you say, guys say over there, bollocks. We say balls, right? So he showed he had balls. He showed that he wasn't that guy that people thought he was, you know? And he's trying to prove people wrong by each and every fight. You know, and I've never seen that personally. I've never seen someone that quit like Dubois has in a few fights and then come back the way he has. But I think at the same time, that's the people, or that's why people say that, hey, maybe he's on the juice. That's where the juice rumors come from. That's where the juice rumors come from. What's good, Kurt? Just saw you were live. Hope all's good. Jay, everything's good, man. Got a small crowd, you know. I know it's late, but, you know, I've done too many videos today for YouTube to really promote my live. I've figured it all out, man. If you notice, I've done less videos. I did 8 videos yesterday. Tell me how many that I've posted. You can't post them like that. Whereas YouTube has decided to do more shorts and promote more shorts. I did a short as well, and the short's doing good. You know what I mean? So I don't think that they will have time to promote me, or neither will I be in an algorithm good enough or big enough to be seen. Right cap so Kurt can read it. Yeah, man, I appreciate you for going live. Maul, no problem. No problem. It's better at night, honestly, when you're reading, because, you know, you don't have any of the sunlight shining all in your face and all that. So, yeah. But, yeah, I had to do a lot of research and, you know, and had to do a lot of circumventing and stuff. But the good thing is, not the less you do, the better. But it kind of is, the less you post, the more YouTube has to take what you've already posted and push it, you know. So, you know, yeah, I need more subscribers, yada, yada, yada. But do I really? You know what I mean? Because it's like, when I had 40,000 subscribers, I did 1.5 million views a month. Now I'm doing 500,000. So maybe 500,000 a month. And a lot of people may say, man, that's a lot of views, which it is. Don't get me wrong, but it's nothing where it was as far as finances or budget. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, it's great compared to someone else, but, you know, what happens when your business is comparable to itself? So, you know, it's not about you are in competition with some other channel. If you know you're not doing as much as you did last year, that's a problem, right? Kind of sucks for Parker, given White, Joyce, and AJ are washed. Well, not really, because Parker can show that he's still the man, or he's still game. But it just makes you wonder, though, how good Dillian White was. I would love to see Dillian White versus Dubois, but that Dillian White from 2018, the one that knocked out Lucas Brown, the one that went to war with Joseph Parker, the former WBO champion, after he just lost it to AJ. I would love to see that 2018 body snatcher Dillian White versus the current Daniel Dubois right now. That would be dope. That would be a war. Because if Dillian, if he watches the uppercuts, that would be a very good fight. Because you know Dillian White will throw punches to try to knock your head off. And so will Daniel Dubois. So it will be bombs all over the place. And I think Dillian can crack, bro. I think Dillian can punch like a mother sucker. Or if he can't as much now, I know he could have. He used to. I think Joyce was the beginning of Andy, if I'm correct. Yeah, he was on the road, man. I mean, he fought after the Derek Chisora fight, the rematch, which I was pissed because I wanted him to fight Luis Ortiz. I wanted Luis Ortiz and Dillian White to square off. You know, and that would have been probably the best fight for Dillian White at that time. But of course, everybody tried to flock to the AJ fight because they wanted the AJ money, and you know. But Dillian White made his own purse, bro. He made his own money. He promoted his own money. He manages his fighters. He's also a manager. I doubt Dillian's broke, though. Dillian has cash. Have you seen Canada's... I can't see that shit. Have you seen Canada's boxing channel? I don't know who Canada's boxing... Who's that? I don't know who that is. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, it just started with, you know, a friend of mine at our crib right here in Shreveport, man. I mean, started with 2 or 3 subscribers, and, you know, the first video in 30 minutes made 100 views. And to me, that was pretty good, you know, to me. I mean, 100 people watched that channel that had no subscribers in 2015. So I'm gonna do a bash, bro, because I've almost been on YouTube 10 years. 10 years, man. Think about that. I've almost been on YouTube for 10 years. So April, it would be 10 years. So I want to have a 10-year bash, appreciation, you know, the biggest videos. I'm gonna watch some of them. We're going to go through all of them. It's going to be fun, bro. No, I haven't seen it. If you guys can send me a link, I can check it out. I haven't seen that particular channel, though. Canada's boxing channel. I haven't. No, I have not. BM, is Torres going to fight anyone with a pulse, or are they just hyping him up with cab drivers until he gets splatted? I don't know. I don't know who Torres is. Kurt, I've been here. Nikki Blue Eyes, I can't see that, baby. It's too small. And the lights flying, like shining. I don't want to wreck and get killed on live. You just, I don't know if you can paste and copy it after you've already posted it, but that would be great. Because I can't see it. Especially, like, well, for me, like stuff starts dancing around. Maybe because I'm driving or whatever. I think it's better when I'm not driving. But, Richard Torre, okay. Mama Lou, okay, I understand. Jax Man. I'm telling you, man, I don't know. I can't say it enough. I still think that name is like a cooler name than your other name. No disrespect to your other name or whatever, but Jax Man. Yeah, that's Jax Man. Who's Jax Man? Kurt having trouble seeing small letters, so we are writing in caps. Yeah. I mean, it's not the easiest thing. I don't know what it is. And YouTube hasn't decided, like, hey, let's make it bigger. And I know that you can. So maybe I can do something on my phone, possibly, that can, you know, do the thing, you know? White is still a top 10 heavyweight of this generation if we are talking about all-time resume, but not if you go off of recent form. Well, here's the thing about boxing, though. Boxing is a kind of sport where you're here today and gone tomorrow. Boxing is more like, appreciate you, Bill Keaveney. Appreciate you, Bill. Yeah, I just got it on the WhatsApp there. Boxing, man, is like Hollywood. It's more like Hollywood than ever. So I'm in two, I'm not a boxer, no, but I'm in two different careers where they're both like, hey, you're hot today and then you're not tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like the same shit all the way through. It's the same shit all the way through. It's like, like, hey, whatever happened to so-and-so? They had a flop. What happened to this fighter? He got knocked out or he didn't have a good performance. You don't always have to lose to not be good anymore, not be relevant anymore. You could have a shitty performance in boxing and then people just don't like you because they've witnessed you either rob a guy, right? I mean, it happened to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is still a good fighter. But Daniel Dubois, believe it or not, people, because of the shit that he did or didn't do, he's not even looked upon as one of those fighters no more. They're looking at him as Daniel the Duck. Daniel Duckin Dubois. Yeah, he's Triple D. He ain't Triple D no more. But now it's worse. Would you want a quitter? At least a quitter went to fight in the first place. Somebody that ducked never wanted to fight, period. So yeah, he's looked upon as worse. He's not looked upon between Ring IQ, Talk Sports, other guys like that. G-Man Boxing, I believe he's talked a little bit about it. But everyone now is talking damn near the same thing, or a lot of people are talking the same thing about Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, he's another example of how, hey, we're starting to like Daniel. He wants to fight everybody till, no, he ain't. He ain't fighting everybody. Oh, no, he's not. He ducked Joseph Parker. Hell, he can't even tell us what was wrong with him. He got a mystery illness. He got a Jamie Foxx illness. I mean, we know what happened to Jamie Foxx now, but when it actually went down, it was like, yo, what's up with you, bro? He didn't want to say what was wrong with him. Whereas Daniel Dubois, he had a viral infection. All right. So he gave him antibiotics. Come on, Nikki Blue Eyes Austin. Come on. That's the problem. People looked at that and they see the things. See, when you start saying stuff that didn't make sense, people started looking at you different. So yeah, it's his team's fault. And Don Charles won't shut up, so he's making it worse. See, the more you try to convince people that you're telling the truth, the more your truth looks like a lie. You see what I'm saying? The more your truth looks like a lie. CC Motion 1998. Man, I've been good, man. I've been good. Been battling the pollen and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good. I got audited. That sucks. But, I mean, I'm good. Ed Ellerby in the building. Counterpunch to you. Warren, Charles, and Dubois team couldn't get their story together. No. And then, Don, I think Don, Don likes to talk. He likes to talk. You know what I mean? He's passionate about talking. Somebody said that he's like the English version of Malik Scott. I think, honestly, Don Charles, he's trying to keep that job because he knows Stan Dubois really doesn't really like him like that. Charles saying Dubois usually gets sick. Yeah, he said that. Oh, he gets sick in all those fights. He got sick in the AJ fight. He just had to. I'm like, well, if he's having these issues, that means y'all need to definitely pull him out to see what the fuck's wrong with him. That ain't normal. That means he has some type of reoccurring bronchial issue that he needs some type of attention. That don't even make sense. That you're talking about Daniel Dubois, oh, he normally gets sick in between training camps. Well, that means you either need to take him to somewhere warmer or take him away from somewhere warm or change something about your training regimen, because there's a reason why he's getting sick. Normally, if he's getting sick like that, let me tell you guys a story. In late 2018 through 19, late 18, I think it was like November, I caught bronchitis. I've caught bronchitis 3 times. Well, 4 times. One in 2008, another one in 2010, 2018 through 19, which I'm talking about, and then another time in like 2020. So that's 4 times. All right. So the 4 times I caught bronchitis, which to me, bronchitis makes COVID look like that's like big brother. COVID's a little brother. Look, COVID has nothing on bronchitis, especially the bronchitis I had. I had chronic bronchitis. And when I caught it, I was so sick. I was working at a casino downtown. I was so sick that I would have to step off the floor to cough, because every maybe minute I would have to cough and clear that nasty ass liquid out of my lungs. Okay, true facts. And I start taking these pills in 18, and I was still working out. I was still doing videos, and I was pushing. And I booked a television series called American Soul on, I can't remember what network it was on, but it was in Atlanta. So I'm like, cool. So at the same time when Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder, this is when the time frame was, early December. So I'm thinking to myself like, dude, I'm making videos after videos after videos. But then I'm thinking to myself like, dude, I don't really feel so hot. So I'm coughing and I got a nebulizer and I breathed it in and all that. And I went to my boy GQ's house because I stayed with him while filming. Well, when I got to his house, he loves the sticky icky, right? So in the den that I was staying, he smokes the sticky icky, and it was residue of the sticky icky when I was sleeping in there. I wasn't smoking, I wasn't partaking, but that's where I was. And he had a heater in there, a little space heater, and I slept on the couch. I woke up the next morning, I felt so bad that when I coughed off a golf ball of some liquid shit. I don't know what it was, some kind of cold inflection in phlegm, mucus, whatever you want to call it. It was disgusting, okay? Might be TMI, I'm just telling you the story, all right? So when I went to set that day, I was so sick, they had to put a prosthetic fro on me, because if you guys don't know, if you ever heard of Soul Train, it's about Don Cornelius, and he had a bus of dancers, and he invited guests like Al Green and many other people. It's a very good show it's a dancing show, Soul Train. You guys, American show back in the 70s. Okay, this was them explaining what this was about, and I booked a guy named Wiley, the bus driver. So I drove the bus. I had a few lines. I had a big fro. And I was sick as shit. Now, here's the saving grace of the whole thing. Just so happened, I'm thinking to myself, like, they don't want to be around me, dude. I'm coughing like Doc Holliday. I'm sick as shit, and I'm like, okay, I don't think that I'm going to be able to deal with this right now. Well, the goodness was, God Almighty, thank you, the director had laryngitis. So he was sick as shit too. So he was like, man, you're coughing. He said, no problem, man. I'm sick as shit too. Let's get it done. So I'm like, yeah, nice. So I won't look like that stuck out sore thumb of people that's sick and nobody wants to be around them, because hell, if you don't want to be around me, you don't want to be around the director either. And he was the guy calling the shots over here. Okay, so we did that. We only did one scene and I drove back. After I drove back, I found myself feeling a lot sicker. Well, December came and went. When December came and went, okay, when it came and went, I had booked a flight back to Brazil, and I thought to myself, like, you know what, this is really going to help, because it's humid, it's going to open up my lungs and stuff like that. It's cold as hell, at that time because it's winter in January. It's 18, 19 degrees, even in Louisiana. So I left. I went to Brazil. I got so sick because now everyone was trying to keep warm here. Well, I went somewhere already warm. And I went there warm, and that humidity, because it was hot. It's summer now, and it's summer over there. Do you know my bronchial tubes swole up to the point I could barely fucking breathe? They had to send me to the emergency room. This is when Manny Pacquiao fought AB, Adrian Broner. I beat that boy. I beat that boy. I beat him. It was that time, okay? And I was so sick, I had to go to the emergency room. So the girl that I was dating at the time, they all sent me to the emergency room because I was sweating, bro. I was pale, and they were like, "Dude, this dude's gonna die here." And then, my friend John, my contact down there, is like, "Dude, we got to get you to the ER." You know what I mean? And yeah, my bronchial tube swole up. Now, did I take antibiotics? Yes, I took them when I got back, but that was to get the infection out of my, lungs. It wasn't a fucking viral infection. No, it was a bronchial infection. But yeah, I almost died in Brazil that year in 2019 when the channel just hit 10,000 subscribers because it was on the rise. And I didn't know what was going on, but whatever was going on, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was on a roll. I was like, yo, this is going good. And I couldn't stop. I was boom, 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 boom. I was making these videos, and and then obviously things were a lot different then. So views were a lot different then. So that being said, I understand that you can't go to certain places to be while you're sick. I get that. But saying all that to say this, telling my story that you may or may not want to hear. If he had problems wherever he trained, he shouldn't be there. Period. One moment. So, but no, they should examine Daniel. If Daniel has an issue, they should handle that. Those guys make too much money not to see what the hell's going on with Daniel for him to get sick like that. Because maybe he needs to go to a specialist if this has happened before. And see, the problem I have with it is if it's happened before, why weren't you guys prepared for that shit? You don't do anyone like that. Okay, well, this guy, man, a couple weeks before the fight, he does get a little sick. I don't know what's going on with him, but after this fight, we're going to see what's happening. That's how it should be done. Not just push this boy out there to bust somebody's head when he's not even 100%, where there may be an underlying issue with him that they don't even know about because they don't give a shit enough about that fighter or Daniel to go to the hospital to see what the fuck's going on. You see what I mean? Like, you don't like those type of things there, man. They have to definitely be looked into. Again, he needs a specialist, and if they don't have one in England, London, which I'm pretty sure they do, shit, it damn sure ain't no third world country, fucking London, the UK, no. You know what I mean? But if they need to take him wherever, they need to take him there. Period. That's just what it is. But Skrilla 50 in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I want to get your opinion if you are from the age of 18 to 20 years old. I can't read that, man. It's too small. Yeah, I can't read that because it's just shit's all bundled. It looks like a bunch of damn near hieroglyphics at this point. Yeah, Jax, man. Yeah, I know it, man. It sucked, man. I'm just thankful to make it back. I feel better. Yeah, I felt better when I left. You know, I paid for a fight. I paid for the Pacquiao versus Broner fight, and I learned something very important. You know, I learned then, and these are before I was doing live streams like that. Like I would have done a live stream on Pacquiao Broner if I could watch the fight. I couldn't even watch it in Brazil. You couldn't watch that shit in South America, in Rio. I couldn't watch it there. You know what I mean? You know, there was no like it was restricted in that country, which I think it's stupid. You pay $80 for a fight in the US, you know, and you can't even watch it in another part of the world. I just think it's dumb. But I mean it's Brazil, right? So what do you do? I'm ready for Joe Joyce versus Hrgovic. I got Hrgovic. I mean, if Hrgovic knows what's best for his career, if he knows what's best for his career, he should be he should want to win that fight. He should want to win that fight, because if he can't win that fight, I don't know what to tell him. No, it's not too late. Hell no. You say 18 to 20 years old? That's shit. You're young. 18 to 20 years old. Would it help you if you were an amateur fighter at age 15 through 18 or whatever, or started at 13 or even 10? Yes. But understand, in any athlete, and I want to make this clear, okay? In any time you're dealing with being an athlete, it's going to be wear and tear. There are people that play basketball, men or women, don't matter, that now they've done 5 years of tournaments, 5 years of, training and drills and practice and shit. Do you know what that's done to their ligaments, their ankles, their knees? They've had knee replacements and shit like that. So basically, this is what I'm saying. Not everyone that has an Olympic background doesn't mean that it helped them to the point to keep them sharp. It makes them experienced. But no, they've suffered some wear and tear. So when you're 18 to 20 years old and you haven't suffered wear and tear, you're pretty fresh. You have to know the basics, and then get the experience of fighting people, and damn sure get you a good trainer and a manager that knows how to move you based on what you know, which is not a lot. That was the beauty of Deontay Wilder. People talk shit about Wilder. Wilder was moved the way he was moved because they knew his experience was very, very little. And they did that shit because they didn't want to see this big bombing ass, hard punching, tall basketball playing looking motherfucker get knocked out by somebody that has 10 losses. That's why they did that. The Sconyers incident. That's why it was wiped off his resume, because they didn't want that to be the thing. They wanted to push Wilder to be the next American great heavyweight, which they did. Congratulations. Was he a hype job? I don't think he was a hype job, because he didn't know shit anyway. That's the problem. It's how they moved him. Shelly Finkel did a good job. He didn't put him in there with guys like AJ in 2018, because what would have probably happened in 18, he would have probably got beat, then game over. Turn off the fucking remote. AJ knocked out Wilder because Wilder threw a right hand or tried to throw a windmill and got caught with a left hook and knocked him spark out. Things like that. They wanted to sell that fight to the highest bidder, but the fight never got to that particular point. Okay, because they both got beat. Joshua got beat the year after the negotiations in 19, and then Wilder got beat 8 months later by Tyson Fury in the rematch in 2020, early, right before COVID. That's the reality of it. So, saying all that to say this about you thinking that I'm too young, I'm too old. No, you're not too old, bro. You just have to keep in mind that if you're fresh, if you're sharp, make sure you stretch. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Make sure you don't smoke. Make sure you stay away from drugs. Make sure you don't drink or any badass habits that could harm you to stop you from where you want to go. If you want it that much, you can get it and you can do it. Now the rest of the ability is all up to you and your natural innateness, meaning what you're already capable of doing. Are you powerful? Are you strong? Are you fast? Can you punch? You know, how's your reflexes? Do you pay attention? Those type of things help you. How fast are you all with learning things? That's what you should be concerned about, not your age. Because I thought it was too old to be a stuntman at 28. And boy, was I wrong. You know, so there you go. Now retire, Wilder, until you become the body you always wanted. Wilder needs to fight someone like Babbitt or something. Nah, Babbitt's done. Now Babbitt is a guy we need to worry about. Honestly speaking, he's a guy you definitely need to worry about because he's a guy that does get knocked and will get knocked out because of his style. Joe Joyce the same way. Joe Joyce, I don't want to see Joe get knocked out no more. Like, please, Joe, no more, Joe. Please, no more. Thank you so very much, Coach. Means a lot to me. I'll give you a go and do all I can. Lily, FJ fifth, Lil fifth. You got it, man. You got it. You can do it. 20 to 18. If I was 20 to 18, I could do it all again. I probably would box too. You know, I probably would be boxing my ass off. But I know I would probably start at 168 instead of 147. That's just stupid. You know, I just, back in those days in like 97, 98, 99, I wanted to fight at 154 because Felix Trinidad did and De La Hoya did. And I was probably quicker than De La Hoya or just as fast. You know I was faster than Trinidad, but could I hit harder than Trinidad? You know, so I practiced my left hook, you know, and, you know, those things. You know, but I think I was honestly, my jab or my right hand was my harder punch. But I admired the left hook, you know what I mean? And the right uppercut. So the left hook, you know, was that punch that everybody went to, you know? So Joe got big headed. You know what they say, big heads harder to knock out. Yeah, well, and then he went up against Zhang that knew how to bang, and that's what happened. So, I mean, it is what it is. Wilder's hunger was different up until he lost to Fury. I mean, yeah, I mean, and if he felt if he felt that he got cheated, I think that probably did something to him too. And then it really fucked his head up when he got beat again by Tyson Fury. Then he knew, like, well, no, maybe I just can't beat Tyson. And now I don't want to admit it to everyone, but now I'm really feeling discouraged, you know? So that might have been, and then he finds out his girl's cheating. Then he takes the ayahuasca. Now he's this peace and blessings kind of guy, which ain't cool. Kurt, Luis Ortiz or Oscar Rivas, who wins? I don't know. Now probably Oscar Rivas because he's younger. Definitely don't hang out with people like Broner. Yeah, Broner had you in jail. You know, I beat that boy. I beat him. You had that boy in jail. I like to see Ruiz versus top 10 fighters. Well, Andy Ruiz, I don't know, man. I just think Andy should do what Andy's been doing. Like, try to fight, get you $3 or $4 million here, $3 or $4 million there. You know what I mean? He only got 1 million for fighting Chris Arreola, so I don't know how much he got for fighting Jarrell Miller. You know, truth be told. So he just has to make sure his hand heals back properly, because he broke that sucker. But that just shows you that if he breaks it, either two things are apparent. He commits his punches, they're already explosive, you know? And I think that's what it is. I think that's what it's about. Jake Paul beats Anthony Joshua. If he does, Joshua should just, I don't, you know, that's another fight that he needs to win. Because guys like Jake Paul can't beat Anthony Joshua, bro. That would be embarrassing to boxing. You couldn't even report on AJ no more. That would be embarrassing to the sport. What's the updates on Joe Parker? I don't know. Joe's been chilling. He's probably gonna go home, make another baby, have another girl, you know, do another video, call her somebody else. They legit need to make Paul versus Joshua. I'm tuned in. Wilder versus Jake Paul. Nah. Wilder's lost too many of his shot of his, But I think Wilder could get him though. I think, you know what I mean? If what now it goes, anybody gets beat in the heavyweight division that's in or on the level like that by Jake Paul, their career is finished. That's it. They're done, people. They are absolutely finished. But anyway, you guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll go live tomorrow. So I'm going to try to go earlier tomorrow. So see you guys then. We're going to talk more about George Foreman. I'm still mourning him for, in a sense. So, big up to the big man with the grill and the two-time heavyweight champion of the world, the oldest heavyweight in the history of the sport. We will talk about him tomorrow. You guys be safe, be blessed, and everyone has been Counterpunch. Peace.